What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Okay, so I talked a little bit about clawbacks, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this video clip they're going to be talking about. This is CBS News Money Watch, and this is a big deal. This is a big deal, especially now with the Social Security Fairness Act and people receiving lump sum payments. They're receiving payments of 10,000, 12,000, even up as high as 20,000, and this is one payment for the whole year, so all of 2024, basically. And so this is the time where you really need to pay attention to how much money you're receiving and make sure that money is correct. And they just made some changes, and I talked a little bit about this in a previous video, but I want to show you this clip, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, and if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the clip. Here we go.
The Social Security Administration said it is reinstating a plan to recover 100% of overpayments to beneficiaries. In a statement released late Friday, the administration said in part, quote, "The Office of the Chief Actuary estimates this change will result in an increase in overpayment recoveries of about $7 billion in the next decade." The agency is already required by law to try to take back any money overpaid to recipients. For more on this, CBS Money Watch Associate Managing Editor Amy Peakey joins us now. Amy, how will the Social Security Administration recover this money, and will it be immediate?
Yeah, it'll be immediate starting after March 27th. So that's what Social Security recipients need to know. And how they'll recover it is they will take 100% of what has been overpaid directly out of the benefit check. So beneficiaries get a check every month. And if you owe, say you get $2,000 a month in your check, if you owe $4,000, they're going to take 100% of your check. So they would take 2 months of your checks, of your benefits. This used to be the policy, and they changed it last year under the Biden administration to cap it at a 10% clawback rate. And the reason why was because there were all these cases of people who were getting their entire benefit check taken, and many of these people rely only on Social Security for their income, so they found themselves completely destitute. They had no money, and these are generally older people, of course, who didn't have money to pay rent, who to pay for food. Some people ended up homeless, and because of the outcry, they changed that policy to a 10% cap on the clawback. And now last week on Friday, Social Security said they were reversing it and going back to the 100% rate. So if you owe a certain amount, they're going to take potentially all of that, your entire check, to get that money back.
So what would you say to people who are on Social Security so they can check to see if they've overpaid or not?
That's a great question. And this is one of the really tricky things about it, is that often people are overpaid and they're not aware of it. The problem is that it's an incredibly complex system. There are 20,000 pages of rules, and it has to do everything about how long you worked, if you're disabled, a lot of different issues there. If you have a spouse, if you're claiming as a spouse, all kinds of different things. When you claim, the age at which you claim. And so sometimes those calculations are done incorrectly, and you can be paid too much, but you might not know. People assume that the government is going to correctly calculate your benefit. The Social Security Administration found in a report last year that in many cases it is their fault why people are being overpaid. The beneficiaries don't know this. They don't know that they're being overpaid until they get a letter saying, hey, you owe $10,000 and we're going to take your checks until that's paid back. And it can be really quite a shock. I think there are something like 73,000 overpayments in one of the most recent fiscal years that were due to problems with the Social Security Administration miscalculating. So, it's not always your problem, but in other cases, people forget to accurately tell the Social Security Administration if they've earned more money in a certain year, and that can impact your payments too and lead to overpayments. So, if you do have some kind of change in your own situation, like you're earning more money, which can impact your benefits, you need to tell the administration about that and not let that ride, because you could get one of these letters if you don't let them know.
Why are they doing this now?
So they're doing this now. It's part of the Trump administration's push to, as they frame it, to cut fraud and abuse. These are called overpayments, are called improper payments. And like I said, often, it's not fraud. It's just because of a miscalculation, often because the administration's doing it. But by law, they are required to get that money back. It is taxpayers' money that needs to go back into the system. It needs to go to pay for other people's benefits. So they do have to reclaim it. And but the Trump administration is trying to find ways to get more money. They have a lot of tax cuts that they're trying to fund, and so they're really trying to put an effort in, finding ways to get more money available for the system in different ways, the federal system. So this is, seen as part of that effort.
Okay, Amy Peaky, thank you.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about this, but there it is. I mean, when it comes to the clawbacks, they're going to claw back at 100%. They actually changed the rules at the end of March, and so now it's in play. So if you are receiving money from the Social Security Administration and that money is an overpayment, when they find out about it, they will definitely come after you, and they're going to come at 100%. Now, I would hope, and I think the way that they'll work it is, let's say you do receive a letter saying that there's an overpayment. Let's say you receive, like she gave the example, you receive $2,000 a month, and then they tell you a couple years down the road that you owe $4,000. Well, the clawback could be $2,000 for that, because you get $2,000 in Social Security benefits. So for 2 months, you're going to be giving up that $2,000 until that $4,000 is paid off. But I think if the letter goes out, then you'll have an opportunity to say, can we work out some type of a payment plan? I would think that that's what they would do. If they've done that in the past. I don't know if they've made any changes to that now with the new ruling, but they're going to come after that money. And so, and I did have some people ask me, I believe it was Linda that asked me, sent me an email asking about, well, what is the actual formula, the calculation? And you heard this lady say that the calculations are not easy. Okay, it's not easy to calculate, and there are pages. I don't know. She said like thousands of pages of how they figure out the calculations and all of that. So it's not anything that's really easy. So we can just look at it and say 2 + 2 = 4. It's going to be a little bit more complex than that. And so I always tell people, if you receive a check, let's say you're receiving a lump sum check from the Social Security Administration, and it sounds too good to be true, maybe it is too good to be true. Maybe you need to contact them just to have them go over it with you. So maybe you'll have a little bit more peace of mind when you're receiving that money, because you don't want to be in that situation where they start clawing back. And if they're clawing back at 100%, that's going to be, that's going to hurt a lot of people. And I like the fact that President Biden did say it's going to only be 10%. So when Martin O'Malley was the commissioner, they decided to bring it back to just 10%. So now it's not a big hit. So that same scenario that I gave you, if you receive $2,000 a month in your Social Security benefits, and then they discover that they overpaid you $4,000, well, now they're going to take $400 out instead of taking that full $4,000. So take $2,000 out of one check and then $2,000 out of the next check. So that's at least a little bit better. But now they've gone back, and it does. I don't anticipate seeing them go back to the 10%. They're going to be at 100% because they're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. And so that's the main reason why they made this change. So we'll have to see what happens in the future. I just wanted to show you this video clip. I talked a little bit about it. I had some people in the comments that were asking me questions about it, as well as some people were sending me emails. And so I just wanted to go over it again. If you guys have any further questions, remember, you can send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. You can also post a comment. And I like it if you're asking me a question. If you send me an email and you ask me a question, make sure you send me a comment as well telling me that you sent me an email. I check my emails periodically, but I do get a lot of emails. So if you want to be at the top of, at the front of the line, if you send me a comment saying that you sent me an email, and I can tie the two together, hopefully your email and your name are somewhat similar. If not, just tell me, just give me your name that you have in the email. And when you post a comment, give me your name that you have in the email, and then I can be able to track those down. And then also, I like to reward the people who are subscribed to the channel. So if you're subscribed to the channel, I know it shows me who's subscribed to the channel in the comments. So I'll know that you're a subscriber, and then I'll also move those to the front of the line as well. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.